video, we're going to look at some basic formatting as well as some simple formulas using Excel. We have some sample data here in a new spreadsheet, and you can see the information is very crowded and it's quite hard to read. So we're going to look at some ways that we can improve the readability of the document, as well as adding some simple formulas to calculate the totals. To start with, we want to increase the column sizes so that we can read the data. You can do these individually by hovering in between your columns and then grabbing that little handle and dragging that out. You can also do this in a multiple group by selecting all the columns and again clicking and dragging that, and they will all change to that same size. The other option too is to again hover between one set and double click, and that will actually make all columns the right width to fit all the information that appears in that column. So if we want to have a look here too, we have the top row, which is our header row. So we may want to make that stand out a little bit more too. So you could potentially make that bold, maybe a tiny bit bigger. You may even want to pop a line underneath it just so that you can see that that's different to the other areas. So now we want to look at adding some simple formulas in. So first of all, we want to look at the manufacturing costs here. So to work that out, we need to multiply the total units that have been manufactured by the total price of the manufacturing. So a simple way to add a sum is to make sure you're here on the Home tab, go across to the right and just click Auto Sum. You'll see that it'll automatically pop a formula in that's trying to add these two items together. What you want to do is change that little colon, which will add things, make that a star, which will multiply. Hit enter, and that formula has now added for you. So what we want to do is continue this formula right down that row. So if you hover right in the bottom right hand corner here, you'll get that dark black cross. You double click and that will take that formula and continue that down right to the bottom row where there's data. So we then want to do the same thing over here with the total sales. Again, we want to multiply the units that have been sold by their sale price. Just to show you, instead of doing the auto sum this time, I'm going to type it in directly. So to do that, you go equals and sum. Then you always need to have an opening bracket. And you can either type the cell number in as H2, or you can just click in that cell number. We want to put the star to multiply. And then we want to use I2. Again, a closing bracket just to finish that out, and you hit enter, and that formula will calculate that for you. We will again double click in that corner to take that formula through for the entire column. Finally, we want to work out the profit. So to work out the profit, we need to work out what our total sales are, and we want to take away any costs that we had in manufacturing it and any discounts that have been taken off. So again, we might actually type it in. So if we go equals and a sum and open that up, the first thing we want to select is our total sales. Then we want to put the minus sign, and we want to take away our manufacturing costs in column G here. And then we want to add another minus sign, and we also want to take off any discounts. So we close that bracket out and we hit enter, and that will put that amount in there for us. So again, you can double click to fill that down the entire column. So another thing you may want to look at doing is formatting your columns based on the information that's in them. So for example, any of these ones that are a price, so manufacturing, the costs, you probably want to make them a currency based field. So to do this, you actually select the column that you want to change. If you want to select multiple columns at the same time, if you hold your control key down and click, that will highlight any of those. So anywhere where we actually have a price, I'm going to highlight those columns. So to change the way that they're being formatted, you can come up here, drop it down and select currency or accounting. So either of those will give you the same kind of layout. You'll see that if you select accounting, it will actually put everything in with your decimal points. You'll get your currency symbol, which will run down the far left hand side of the column there. You'll see with the currency version, it's slightly different in that the $sign will actually move in and be at the start of the text there. The thing with the currency one, you can always go in here and actually look at the further options. So if you go down to the very bottom and go more number formats, you'll see here again you can select your currency or your accounting. You can change the symbols that are appearing if you are in a country with a different dollar value. With your currency option, you can actually come in here and choose how you would like negative numbers to appear. You also have an option of actually removing the dollar symbols as well. In this instance, I'm just going to stick with the accounting one for now. So another field that probably needs some attention over here is the date. You'll see that's come across as just a number, and those numbers will actually convert to a date, but we need to actually put a date format on this column. So to do that, you click your drop down here and select the entire column. Again, you can come up here under your number formats and you can automatically just select long date or short date. You can also go into your more number formats and select date, and here you can select the style of date that you would like. So the other thing you can also change in here is your location. So in this particular example, in Australia, the month actually comes second on a date, whereas if you are somewhere like America, you can actually go in here and select the United States, and that will actually put the date as the first number as per their format. So I'm going to select this one up here and go OK. And you'll see now that all those dates have actually changed to show a correct date. As you can see, we've covered the basics of formatting some raw data into a more readable document. We'll be posting some further videos showing how you can take this document and improve it with things such as filtering, conditional formatting and lookup formulas. We hope you found this video useful. Please feel free to subscribe to be notified as our new videos are added. Thank you for watching.